in 2021, the pandemic continues to accelerate the shift to e-gaming. A lot of consumers turned to e-gaming and esports as a form of entertainment in the pandemic. As an example, Roblox, which is held in the fund, has about 50 million daily active users on their platform. People also turned to e-gaming as a way to socialize in the pandemic. So using the Roblox example, there are about 2 billion messages that are sent daily on their platforms. One big theme that we noticed in 2021 was big tech's interest in e-gaming. So Netflix actually bought video game creator Night School Studios when their CEO actually went on record saying they were more concerned about Fortnite and YouTube than they were about Disney Plus and Amazon. Microsoft owns Xbox. You also have Meta or Facebook that are obviously investing very heavily in the Metaverse and have lots of VR games you can play on their Oculus headset. Amazon also acquired Twitch, which is a video game streaming company, back in 2014, and this year released their new video game called New World. And then Apple obviously has exposure to e-gaming through all the games on their App Store. Big tech's interest in this industry really just adds further credibility to the growth opportunity in the sector. The e-gaming industry did suffer some performance challenges, however, this year. The challenges came from a couple different reasons. The first one being China's e-gaming crackdown. So the crackdown in the sector has actually lasted almost a year now, where Chinese officials are afraid that e-gaming is too addicting for minors. In July, Chinese media actually referred to e-gaming as opium for the mind. And in August, China announced it was cutting minors' video game allowance time from 1.5 hours a day to 3 hours a week. The second reason that the sector sold off a little bit this year was the concern that as the economy reopens, people would spend less time playing video games. One surprising point was that this didn't necessarily materialize. While it's true that a lot of people probably played a little bit less console games when the world reopened, the growth in mobile gaming more than made up for this. So for those two reasons, we believe that the sector has actually been a little bit oversold in the last year. The first key driver for 2022 relates a little bit to the last point I made about the reopening concerns and the amount of video games that individuals were going to play. The new concerns around variants could actually lead to further lockdown and could provide near-term positive sentiment for the sector. While it's important to note that we don't think that we need lockdowns for growth in the e-gaming sector, this idea that more people will stay home and play games could be positive short-term news for the e-gaming sector. Another key trend that we think will be important in 2022 is continued growth in mobile gaming. So mobile gaming actually made up 50% of the total e-gaming revenue in 2020 and is on track to grow another 20% in 2021. The pandemic trained us to want to have everything connected from anywhere, and mobile gaming is the e-gaming's industry's way of giving that to us. Another key driver that we think will be important in 2022 is cloud gaming. And this is the ability to stream games on any device via the cloud. Microsoft actually says that cloud gaming is going to be a huge part of their strategy going forward, and they believe it's one of the most exciting technologies to hit the gaming industry since mobile gaming. The last point I'd like to touch on is the Metaverse. The Metaverse is not a company, it's not a product. It's this next generation of the internet that's enabled by real-time 3D that lets you feel immersed in the experience. The Metaverse is not only gaming. You're going to be able to do a number of different things in the Metaverse, but gaming will certainly be one of them. E-gaming companies have been creating virtual worlds forever. EverQuest, as an example, was an online game from 1999 that had about 500,000 subscribers at its peak. World of Warcraft launched in 2004 and had about 12 million users. And currently, Roblox, as I mentioned, has about 50 million daily active users. As e-gaming companies continue to invest in better augmented and virtual reality, the number of users will only increase. For that reason, we're really excited about these drivers and think that the e-gaming industry is poised for growth in 2022.